Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our presentation. We are going to talk about our final report in culinary and food and beverage management, that is Warjo. Next, first of all, I'd like to give you an overview of our presentation. Next. Okay, so our group member are Adrian Nugroho, Alfedi Ramses, Angelica Wijaya, Haryo, Marcella, Maria Oksa, Oliver Reginald, Stefania Berlinda, and Susan Preskela. Okay, so first is introduction. The business that we will develop is a coffee shop business. What makes us different is that we provide a simple and populist menu while maintaining the past culture such as sachets and STMG drinks, aka susu telur madu jahe. Our coffee shop business is called Warjo, which is a Warkop Burjo. Next. Okay, and we jump to the next chapter, that is restaurant concept. Warjo is a modernization concept of traditional Warkop with the additional or modification of certain menus, facilities, and decorations without losing the essence of the simplicity of Warkop itself. And Warjo is an abbreviation of Warkop and Burjo. And here we have our vision is establishing Warkop Burjo to become a place and a feeling to remember for customers through a populist and appealing concept that caters to the requirements and expectations of customers, regardless of their social status. And we have our mission, first is to serve a variety of meals and beverages at reasonable costs to satisfy customers. And we want to provide a new atmosphere to the concept of coffee shops and burjo in order to compete with other modern food stalls. And we want to expand the network with partners and maintaining the quality of service and food for customers. And last is we want to optimize customers and business partners' satisfaction, constantly develop and improve service quality. Okay, so next, we have in here our business model canvas. And next, yeah, our logo, Warjo. Warjo itself meaning that Warkop X Burjo. And we choose brown as our base color since the color is a natural color and it represents stability and warmth. Thus, the patterns of our store feel comfortable, familiar, and secure. We choose a cup of coffee as our logo since our business is quite similar to Warkop, which stands for Warung Kopi or Coffee Corner. And coffee is a very common drink to order in a store like ours. Next, structure, our organization. We have CEO, General Manager, and we have 4 divisions: marketing, HR, F&B service that have waiter and cashier, F&B product that have warehouse, head of chef, and assistant chef. Next. And this is the brief explanation about the job description. Next. Yeah, restaurant layout. We are planning to renovate the soap house to be like this. This is the building layout. Next. Now, as you can see, this is the outdoor space and parking area. Next. And this is the restaurant layout. Next. And the cashier layout. Okay, next, this is the kitchen layout and toilet layout. Next. Yeah, this is our real location in Jalan Greenland Boulevard, kawasan GIC, Karang Pusat. Next. This is the equipment and utensils of restaurant. Lika, please help me to share screen the link, please. Okay, so we have in here our main buildings such as like cash register, phone, and so on and so forth. And we have this our toilet, like our toilet seat. And in the garden, we planning to make some decoration, like plant. And also we have in here a kitchen, like kitchen sink, gas stove, rice cooker, cabinet set, and so on and so forth. Yeah, and we have in here glassware, like the cup, the mug, the glass, and then we have cutleries, the spoon, the fork, the bowl, the plate, and so on and so forth. Thank you, Lika. Okay, next chapter will be continued by Stefania.
Okay, thank you, Suzette. In chapter 3, we will be discussing about menu. And now let's begin from the menu design along with the menu list and also the price list. We have several categories such as the main menu, snacks, and then instant noodle, snacks, drinks, and the last one is instant drink. And then for the next, we have standard recipe. We have made the standard recipe to calculate the pricing for each menu of Warjo using the formulas of cost yield percentage. Yeah, Haryo, can you share the screen, please? Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is one of our calculations for determining the selling price per serving. Like here we have Burjo, and we write down all the ingredients here and required measure and then per case quantity, and we calculate the total cost and determine how many served that we want. And then finally we got our selling price per serving. Yeah, can stop sharing the screen. Last but not least, in chapter 3, we have the supplier list. We will take the ingredients and raw materials needed from the wholesaler because we didn't have any specific store or company name yet. However, as the time passed by, we are planning to take the raw materials directly from the factory. And now let's move on to the next chapter, which is chapter 4, marketing. In 4.1, we will talk about the SWOT for Warjo. And for the first one, we have strengths. Our strengths are strong business ecosystem apart from basic food shop and warteg. Indonesian youth's inherent hangout culture. Supply is easy to get and the high demand. And last is capex is relatively small. And for our weaknesses are low barrier to entry, price competition is quite high with individual competitors. OPEX is high if we don't own our property, and then low margin and limited selling items. For our opportunities there are no big players in this sector and a strong demand for hangouts in the middle low community with a limited budget. And then individual competitors are not managed properly, and the last one is unsupported facilities. For our threats are a low barrier to entry that has the potential to scale big players to imitate the business. And then the owner of the building can increase the rent at will. And for the last is the complexity of SOP or standard operational control or quality management. Next. In 4.2, we have segmenting, targeting, and positioning. We have 4 targets for Warjo. The first target is high school or vocational school students, all gender with in age between 15 until 18 years old. And then for the second target, we have all gender of university student in age between 18 until 23 years old with an income between 0 until 3 million rupiah. And for the third target, we have all gender of office workers in age between 23 until 45 years old with an income between 3 million rupiah until 15 million rupiah. And for the last one, which is fourth target, we have all gender of drivers in age between 18 until 65 years old with an income between 100,000 until 15 million rupiah. And the last but not least, in chapter 4, we have media of marketing. Our media of marketings are word of mouth, and we also have social media like Instagram, TikTok, and Google. Next chapter will be presented by Alfredi. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I will explain the next chapter. First is HACCP. There are 2 main points, that is establish good hygiene practices, and the second one is hazard. The way that we do in establish good hygiene practices are clean the kitchen every morning, clean the gear every 2 months, and keep the hardware hygienic. Clean the kitchen once a month to clean up corner tidy and garbage. Next is hazard. There are 3 hazards that we are facing, that is microbiological hazard, physical hazard, and allergenic hazard. How to avoid every hazard? For microbiological hazard, we have to keep every ingredient in the right place to keep it clean and avoid microbes and other elements compressing each dish properly. For physical hazard, we have to clean up and keep everything hygienic. And for allergenic hazard, we ask customers on the off chance that they are unfavorably susceptible to certain nourishment when ordering. For the safety, we optimize cleanliness in the kitchen, such as the use of aprons for chefs, not smoking in the kitchen, and so on. How to control the hazard? To control the hazard, we make sure all cooking procedures, cleaning and storing ingredients are appropriated. And to make sure the control are in place, we prepare the staff to check all materials, utensils, etc. And what if things go wrong? If things go wrong, we arrange any prepared to eat nourishment that seems to have been sullied by crude nourishment, refrain staff and reinforce cross-contamination rules. Dispose of all nourishment that are out of date. And next. Second is environmental impact assessment, divided into sections. The first is environmental pollution. Here there is wastewater pollution, oil fume pollution, noise pollution, and garbage pollution. For the wastewater pollution, include washing wastewater and general domestic wastewater. Washing wastewater is mainly the wastewater discharge from cleaning various food materials, tableware, napkins, towels, and other textiles in our restaurant, and as well as the wastewater from cleaning kitchen utensils. General domestic wastewater is mainly wastewater discharge from mopping, washing, and flushing toilets. For oil fumes, for oil fume pollution, first there are a lot of carcinogens in oil fumes. Long-term inhalation can induce cancer of lung cancer tissue. Second is oil fumes can also harm human sensory organs. Third, oil fumes are extremely harmful to the human respiratory system. Next is noise pollution. The interference and impact of thermal pollution and vibration pollution from the restaurant downstairs on the residents upstairs cannot be ignored. The vibration generated by the blower and exhaust fan and the noise of the dinners in the restaurant downstairs can make it irritable and difficult to rest. Next, for the garbage pollution, as food waste is exposed to the air during storage and transportation, microorganisms and bacteria multiply. Animal fats and oils are easily oxidized and decay, resulting in decay and deterioration to produce toxins. The second one is characteristic of restaurant pollution emission. First, the complicated cooking process makes the pollutant composition complicated. Second, intermittent centralized discharge. Pollution emission from restaurant are different from pollution sources. And third is local pollution is serious. The restaurant has long discharged oil fumes, noise, wastewater, and other pollutant into the surrounding area. The last from environment impact assessment is prevention measures. In view of pollution of cooking fumes in the kitchen, we are required to install fume purifiers in our restaurant, and the fumes should be discharged at high altitudes after purification. For noise pollution, start from the source and try to remove the blower and exhaust fan as much as possible. In response to food waste pollution, restaurants should find a stable place to recycle waste. Smuggling of restaurant and kitchen waste is strictly prohibited. The treatment of grease in kitchen sewage is very important. Restaurants need to install grease trap and swivel buckets to clean up the isolated residual oil and other pollutants in a timely manner, and use special containers to store them. Next will be Haryo will help me to share screen the workflow. Okay. The last from SOP is workflow. We have 10 divisions within the Warjo organization. The position of CEO, manager, supervisor, marketing, HR, head of staff are occupied by one person. Chef, waiter, cashier. The warehouse has 3 shifts, and cashier and warehouse has 2 shifts. The 3 shifts are morning, afternoon, and night. And can you scroll down? Okay. For the shift system in Warjo is morning shift, 2 waiters, 1 chef, 1 cashier, 1 warehouse manager, HR, marketing, and supervisor. And for afternoon shift is 1 waiter, 1 chef, 1 cashier, 1 warehouse manager, HR, marketing, and supervisor. And for the night shift, 1 waiter, 1 chef, 1 cashier, 1 warehouse, and manager. Next. Next is chapter 6 about finance. Lika will help me to share screen. Okay, for the finance is first from profit and loss projection. First is outlet medium conservative. For the outlet medium conservative, the total revenue is 170 million and 557,000. And for the total cost of sales is 124 million and 205,000. For the gross profit, 46 million and 352,000. For the total expenses is 44 million and 200,000. 44 million and 200,000. For the net profit before taxes is 2,152,000. And for the income taxes, net operating income, same like net profit before taxes. Next. Okay, the second one is profit and loss projection in outlet medium moderate. For the outlet medium moderate, the total revenue is 254 million and 700,000. For the total cost of sales is 184 million and 950,000. For the gross profit is 69 million and 750,000. For the total expenses is 44 million and 200,000. For the net profit before taxes is 25 million and 550,000. For income taxes, net operating income for income taxes, net operating income is seems like net profit before taxes. Next. Okay, the third one from profit and loss projection is outlet medium optimist. For outlet medium optimist, the total revenue is 352 million and 800,000. For the total cost of sales is 253,000 and 800,000. For gross profit is 99 million. For the total expenses is 43 million and 700,000. For net profit before taxes is 55 million and 300,000 for income taxes. Next is BAP. BEP. For BEPs, we have fixed asset. For fixed asset, for the total fixed asset, we have 97 million and 733,500 rupiah. For pre-opening expenses, the total is 60 million rupiah. For the total controllable operating expenses is 452 million and 500,000 rupiah. For the non-controllable operating expense, we have total startup investment and total investment. For total startup investment, we have 568 million and 233,500 rupiah. For the total investment, we have 653 million and 468,000 and 525 rupiah. The payback period calculation for the earning before tax, we have 461 million and 957 and 600. For the net profit, we have 346 million and 468,200 rupiah. For the payback period is 1.64. Next is the expected revenue. For the expected revenue, we have the total expected revenue. We have 1,306 million and 368,000 rupiah. And for the average charge is 27,000 rupiah. Next is CAPEX and OPEX. For CAPEX, the total we have 112 million and 733,500. For the OPEX, we have 39 million. And for the total investment, the total initial setup cost is 580,733,500. Thank you, Lika. Back to Marcella to share the screen. For the last chapter is chapter 7 is the conclusion. So the conclusion is from the following business proposal report, it can be concluded that we will build a culinary business called Warjo or Warkop X Burjo. Okay, I think that's all from us. Thank you and see you.